All my business's successes were because of the people who worked for me. I used to always tell my employees, I always told my guys, I said, listen guys, I said, the only reason our business is as successful as it is because of you. You're the only reason we are successful and we've grown like we have. You see, it's no different here at VIP Corporate Housing. It's no different at all. The owners here all know that they could have never grown to the level that they've grown if it wasn't for each and every one of you here. Every one of you make up a part of this great team. And it takes every one of you to make and keep this company as successful as it is. I had the privilege of having lunch with Brad to come talk about what I needed to talk about for you guys. And he shared his story with me as far as how they started, how they went into business, how they started, and their growth. And your growth has been extraordinary. As he began to share the story, he said, we didn't just want to be a company where we could just, the three owners, we could have our own business, we could make some money, we could have it good just for us. But we wanted to have the kind of company that provided jobs for employees. We wanted to have the kind of company that provided lifestyles for people. We wanted to be more than just the average Joe. And we wanted to make a difference in people's lives. This is the kind of owner that you have here. These are the kind of owners, they want to make a difference in your lives. This is why you're here today, and that's the best part about it. But sometimes we think that the business owners, when we look at owners, we think it's all glamorous. We think it's all glamorous, like, oh man, these guys, they got it made. We see these big giant numbers, and we're like, man, they're rolling in the dough. They're making all the money. And sometimes they are. And that's okay because they've taken the risk to do that. Several years ago, I remember sitting on the side of my bed one morning. I woke up really early and I sat on the side of my bed. And I remember I just cried. Business was tough. Business was really hard. And I was at a crunch point in our business and in our life to where I didn't know how much more pressure I could take. This is the side of business that you don't always see. And I remember I sat there and I just cried and I cried. And I tear up when I tell this story, but I did. And I remember I said a prayer that morning. And the prayer went like this. This is, God, you must totally hate me. That was how I felt inside. I felt so defeated. I felt so hurt. I felt so down. Fast forward to about 10:30 in the morning, I went to the office and I was fine. I was back to normal. Okay, I'm back to my normal happy-go-lucky self. I got out of that phase of being down. I'm like, okay, I got to put on the game face. We have employees. They can't ever see me like this at all. I got to the office and my oldest son worked for me in my office. And it's around 10:30 in the morning and the phone rings. My son answers the phone and he says, the guy goes, hey, can I speak to Eric Rios, please? And my son always screens my calls because when you're an owner, you get solicitors every day that call you over and over and over. So they screen all my calls and the guy goes, well, because Sam told me, he said, well, he's not available right now. He goes, well, can you just tell him that God told me to call him? He goes, hold on a second. He puts the guy on hold. He goes, yeah, there's a dude on the phone. He said, God said he was supposed to call you. I gotta talk to this dude. I'm a skeptic. I'm a total skeptic. I gotta talk to the crazy guy right now. I gotta get the crazy guy on the phone. I gotta hear this story. So I pick up the phone and I get on the phone and I'm like, hey, thank you for calling. This is Eric. How can I help you? He goes, look, you don't know me and I don't know you, but God told me to call you. I said, okay, I'll hear you. I'll listen to what you have to say. I'm interested. I'll buy into this. He goes, look, I'm 65 years old. I have nothing to lose. I have nothing to gain from this phone call. But I was sitting here praying, and God told me to call you. I said, okay, sure. Okay, right. Well, how did you get my name, first of all? How did you get my name, and how did you know to call me? He goes, funny thing you ask. He said, I got this phone book in front of me, and it's closed. And he said, God told me, he said, I want you to open the phone book, and I want you to put your finger down. Where your finger lands, that's who I want you to call. He opens the phone book. He puts his finger right on my face. Had my name under it. He had my attention there. Tears began to run down my face. I was so broken that day and nobody saw the brokenness in me. He told me, he said, all God wanted me to tell you was this, is that it's going to be okay. Just trust in what's going to happen in your life. I wrote all that down that day. I wrote the guy's name down, wrote his phone number down, wrote the time, and I wrote the message. And I carry it in my wallet to this day as a constant reminder to never give up when things get hard. See, sometimes we think that being a business owner is the most glamorous thing, but it's not. What we forget is we forget the pressure. It's like you live in this giant pressure cooker all the time when you're an owner.